Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello everyone from all over the world. Today we have a special event, special workshop. It's about technology in teaching. We all know about COVID-19 and how it changed everything in our life. One of the main things that change in our life is education. So today we have three speakers will talk about the education and the way that the technology play the main role in this period. Starting with Dr. Muthammina from Indonesia in a subject about injected cybergogy in designing course material in teaching. And after that, Mr. Muhammad Jalal, he's from Egypt, but he's working in Qatar about AR and VR in teaching, learning process. And then after that, Dr. Sharif from Egypt about enhancing education using artificial intelligence in the time of COVID-19. Thank you all for joining. This event will be recorded. This is me, Dr. Ahmed Al-Kattan, the founder of ITAR from Kuwait. After the three presenters finish their presentation, after that we'll open the session for Q&A, for questions. So anyone have any question, you can ask in below. You can find Q&A, or you can raise your hand and I will go one by one to ask a question for the three speakers. Sorry. Starting with Dr. Muthammina, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much for the time. I will share my screen now. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening from Indonesia. My name is Dr. Mutmainah. I am lecturer at Al Azhar Manda University. I want to say thank you very much to my brother, Dr. Ahmed Al-Kattan, for the great invite me in this great international webinar or workshop today under the topic technology in teaching. So, my excellency to all of the keynote speakers today and all of the participants who come and attending this great event in this evening. Our webinar topic today, we will discuss about technology in teaching. When we are talking about teaching, this is the complex process. This is involved many aspects. It will be covered in my presentation today under the title Injected Cybergogy in Designing Course Materials of Teaching. And then we will cover today, and this is our menu about cybergogy and mobile gogy, going digital and designing course material in teaching. I choose my topic or my title today. This is based on the phenomena during the COVID-19 in 2020. We have or we get shock culture. Shock culture means here we must be adapt with the new culture, how to integrate technology in our learning and teaching process. And actually, I have survey from the British Council on Mind, this is reported in the Mind finding, most of the teachers all around the world, remote teaching, this is something new for them. And then they need to be more to train how to teach and how to use by using technology, and then train their students to learn by using technology. And when, let's move to the cybergogy. The fundamental in teaching, actually we must mastery or we must have a competence in teaching or philosophy in teaching. What is pedagogy? What is teaching? Pedagogy, this is the teaching art or the science of teaching. This is include with the method, the methodology, the method, learning approach, and then the media, the technology, the classroom management that you cannot be used or you design in your learning and teaching process to achieve a Bloom taxonomy. And cybergogy, actually, this is the combination between pedagogy and technology. This is one of the theory from Wang and Kang. Cybergogy actually engage learning in increasing the level of present, the cognitive, social, or constructive, and emotive. Well, cybergogy actually covers all of the learner thinking, behavior, and emotion. As you know that in learning and teaching or in teaching process, this is not only how to transfer knowledge, but you must be encourage your student what about their behavior, their emotion, and their thinking. Mean that here in cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. And to supporting the technology in learning and teaching process or ICT, actually this is namely innovative pedagogical practice. So the most or the main point, the component to apply or to practice the technology in learning and teaching process, there are 8 elements, and the most important in this area, the infrastructure. Actually, our challenge today, when we want to integrate technology or ICT in our learning and teaching process, we have problem with this. Maybe this is all around the world having faced this problem. And Indonesia, in my country, this is our challenge today. You know that Indonesia, this is the one of the big country, and 50% of Indonesia area, they are in the blank spot. Blank spot mean here there is no internet connection. And then 44 million students, most of them, or 48%, they are live in the rural area. Rural area, they don't have a smartphone or laptop. When we are remote our learning and teaching process with online synchronous or asynchronous strategy. Well, this is the problem. When we are doing, or we are practice physical distancing and social distancing during the COVID-19. So what we should do? And then we need to be our leading sector, mean here our Ministry of Education and Culture, to be pay attention and support the infrastructure for ICT. Because as you know that when we are rolling out our education delivery by internet, so we need more the connection. And the next part, this is mobile gogi. Actually, cyber gogi and mobile gogi, this is the have connection. Cyber gogi, this is the pedagogy and technology, and mobile gogi, this is the device or the tools when you are wanted to integrate technology in your learning and teaching process. Let me have a look here about the evolution of learning. This is the learning theory covered with cognitive, humanistic, social, and behavior. Then this is a breakdown into the three of the our assessment based on our student process in learning and teaching, namely cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. And now the evolution of learning today, when we are going to digital, let's have a look here. This is the condition today from the classroom. We are transformation our classroom from face-to-face into the virtual classroom. Virtual mean here you use a platform to do or in learning and teaching in learning and teaching process. And then this is one of the concept of mobile technology or mobile gogi. Mobile gogi, this is as device in learning with mobile device. For example, by using smartphone like today, we are control our learning and teaching process by using smartphone or by using laptop. And then another one, mobile as a process. Why process? Because this is covered with mobility of the technology, mobility of learning and mobility of learner. This is mean that learner and community center, everything, they are in the cloud. Well, this is the a little bit concept or definition, the differentiate between mobile gogi, mobilized learning, and mobile learning. Mobile e-learning, this is adapt learning to limitation of mobile device. You use a smartphone, and then this is available everywhere and adaptable anywhere and anytime. You can access anytime and anywhere. I mean that here, this is synchronous and a synchronous strategy. And then mobile learning, this is a kind of learning model allowing learners to obtain learning material anytime and anywhere they can access. And then mobile learning, this is support with digital adaptive, investigate and communicate, collaboration and productive learning activity in remote location for use a wide variety environment, and the teacher can operate or can handle it their classroom. So this is one of the mobile gogi model. As you know that in learning and teaching process, we have we must support our student to achieve the learning outcome. Learning outcome here, the student competent or the objective our learning and teaching process for each meeting or in one semester. And then now to supporting cybergogi and mobile gogi in this digital era, like now in the revolution industry 4.0 and then in the society 5.0, we are now must be going digital. Everything becoming digital. Let's have a look about the pedagogy and technology and how we are going to be digital based on the condition today. As you know that for the first time when we are under attack or shock culture with the during the pandemic, most of the teacher, this is based on my observation, based on most of education, they are very confused how to use technology. Actually, technology, this is the second point, but the first, you must consideration about the pedagogy. This is the first, this is pedagogy. In the pedagogy, you design your material, design your lesson plan, design your syllabus, design your material, and then you can choose what the technology that is suitable with your condition. I mean here, in technology now, some of the tools and when you are use synchronous or asynchronous for low bandwidth and high bandwidth. For example, in my condition, my student condition, they are most of them in low bandwidth. So they are more adapt or familiar with technology or the tools, namely WhatsApp. So I apply WhatsApp to remote my learning and teaching process. And then this is, you can see here, the intersection between technology, pedagogy. This is the system change. How now everything, our system change. Because when we are teaching from face to face, this is very different when we are handle our learning and teaching process in the virtual. This is the problem today. Most of a student, they are replay or they are state or comment by using technology. And when we are learning with these tools, for example, Google Classroom or Edmodo or ClassDojo or many more, they think this is only my lecture or my teacher. They are give so many interaction and so many assessment. They feel something like that. And then their emotion, they are lost focus and concentration to having fun with the learning process. And well now, let's have a look about our condition today in the disruption. We are in the disruptive condition and everything going to be digital. We are as a teacher or educator, we must going to be a digital teacher. The classroom becoming and going to be the virtual classroom, and we are in the digital world now. So we must facilitate our student with the digital skill. And now pedagogy, actually, this is upgrade into the digital pedagogy. Digital pedagogy means here when you apply your learning and teaching process by online, hybrid, or face-to-face, or by blended. Blended learning, this is a mixing between technology and face-to-face. And then now, how to becoming a digital teacher. As a teacher, as educator, you must be upgrade your skill, your competence now, how to use and how to teach by using technology, and then how you train your student to have a skill in digital skill. And then this is the some of the indicator when you are as a teacher becoming a digital teacher. Let's have a look. You can find and evaluate authentic web-based content. You can use your social media for professional development and basic for information, communication, and technology skill. This is the social media. You can use a social media as your community between your student and your classroom, and then you can build the communication by using the social media. And many more, this is the indicator. If you cover this, you will be becoming a digital teacher. And now, how a teacher able to supporting their to becoming a digital teacher. This is, you can see here, not only about the technology we are talking here, but how you support student deep learning, represent ideas in powerful ways, organize productive learning process, and evaluate your learning and teaching process. Mean here, you can reflection your learning and teaching process during one semester or in the middle semester. This is to facilitate our student with the 21st century skill. And then the teacher competence will be developed with this knowledge about a student. You must know about your student condition, your student level or degree, and then what they want and what they need. And then learning condition design, subject knowledge. You must master your subject knowledge, and then the assessment. So the next, not only the teacher becoming a digital teacher, actually we need to be, our student, our learner today, they are becoming a digital learner. What is the digital learner today? as you know that most of our learners, they don't have a feel or they don't have motivation, inner motivation in learning. So we must induce their motivation and then facilitate them with some of the digital tools to supporting their learning. And you know that this is the indicator as a digital learner. When you support your student to be becoming a digital learner or digital student, you must be design your material, your lesson plan, and your instructional design into the multitasking. Multitasking means here your student, they can do some activities in one action. So not only the teacher becoming digital teacher, the student becoming digital student or learner, and our material will be becoming a digital material. I will share to you my experience when I developing a material, teaching material to be a digital material. And the next, everything becoming a digital now. And then this is one of the concepts, the next future of education, namely intelligent campus, or this is for higher education. This is just only for example, not only campus, but maybe this is school becoming intelligent campus or school. What is intelligent campus right now? Maybe someday we not have again our physical campus, our building, most of them into the cloud. Everything, the library in the cloud, lecture the most in the cloud, everything. And this is the concept about the cloud intelligent campus. This is covered with the cloud learning, and then the cloud learning activity characteristic, mobile cloud in education and mobile class, everything in the cloud. Maybe this is for the future, but actually we are going to, in this condition, intelligent campus. So now I will share to you my experience when I designing course material in teaching. This is covered with cybergogy, mobile gogy, and then the digital tools. Designing teaching material, this is the framework, planning, developing, and evaluation. In the methodology of the research, this is namely research and development. And this is the designing material flowchart, one of them, namely board and GALP. But I usually use a SOAR. There are 6 pages here, analyze learner. This is the first step. You can analyze your student, what are your student general characteristics and the learning style. And you can use here to analyze your student, the instrument. You can use a questionnaire or interview for your student. Ask them what they want, what they like, and what they need. And after that, you find their need, your student need, and after you analyze your student, and then you can formulate the objective. This is refer to the learning outcome. And then you can select the method, media, and material. I will share to you the example today when you are developing or redesign your material by using one of the method, for example, constructivism by Piesa, and the media and the material with the instructional design by using Ganyena and even instructional design. And then this is the next step. When you are utilize your media in the classroom, you need to require your learner participation. Maybe this is, for example, discussion or in small group activities, and doing the formative assessment. And in the end of the semester, you can evaluate and revise your learning and teaching process. And then this is for the example, the student need. I give the questionnaire for the student, and this is by online, and there are 173 students answer or reply this questionnaire from many countries in the world here. And this is some of the highlight answer. Our students today, they are, this is example because I'm teaching English subject, but you can adapt this instrument to analyze your student need based on your subject. And then this is the highlight answer. This is, for example, our student today, when
Hello, Dr. Mutmainna. Hello.
Yeah, I think the connection is stopped. Just a minute. Give her 2 minutes.
center approach, and this is the activity by using 9-event interaction from Gagne and how to achieve the student Bloom taxonomy. And this is the example of the matrix of learning lesson plan. This is the lesson plan. You can use this lesson plan, this matrix, to achieve your student, namely the learning outcome Bloom taxonomy here. And after you design your product ready, you can integrate with the application. This is namely Articulate Mobile, Lecturer Impaired, and Mobile Android. This is one of the example of the product or a book or material. This is becoming a digital material right now. This is, for example, by using film, because most of the student answer, they need to learn by using a film. So when we are using this film, actually, this is there are 5 phases. In the warm up, we need to the student achieve the competence or the skill, will, understanding, on remember. In the presenting, they are can be analyzed the word. This is, for example, because this film talking about desire. This is a desire concept. They can find the synonym or the antonym of the word. And then the practice. This is practice. This is applying. The student will discuss the film. And then in the production, we need to be the student write the composition or the create. And the last evaluation. Actually, this space covered with student 21 century skill, communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and create. You can use this film as a media to transfer your knowledge or your content or your material in your learning and teaching process. So this is the film. This is about design. And the next, what about the song? This is same. The song, this is a breakdown into the 5 phases. And this is my student when I apply a film in my classroom. They are watching, and you can look. This is namely gaining attention. Everything, all of the students, they are pay attention with the material. And then not only in the classroom, sometimes I ask my students to choose the environment or the maybe they want to be in outdoor or indoor. This is in outdoor. You can see their expression when they are playing, or I assess them by using by using quizzes. This is in the outdoor. They are very happy and excited in learning and teaching process. So this is in outdoor. This is apply my book. You can see here the material becoming a digital material, and the student here collaborate with another student. And well, this is my classroom during the COVID-19. And then now this is as conclusion how to make your teaching fun. You can create your material based on your student need, and the process you can do the interaction with your student. You can ask them, ask what they need, what they want. When my student they want to learn in outdoor, I improve my student, I improve my class into the outdoor. And this is the last technology, just only a tool. Pedagogy is the driver, the technology is the accelerator. And the technology we can be used to be more, to make our learning and teaching to be more practical, effective, and efficient. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Muthammina, for this informative and useful presentation that also me, really, how can I say it? Like there is many information that this is my first time I know it about the technology, about the apps or software, and the good thing, how you connect your story or your presentation with the real life, and you show us how you deal with your student in the classroom or outside room using technology. It's good to know about Dr. Muthammina. Dr. Muthammina, she is assistant professor in the Faculty of Teachers, Training and Education in University Al Asiriyah Mindar University in West Sulawesi, Indonesia. She is also director of the Center for Women's Studies of Universities Al Asiriyah Mindar. She received her PhD in language education, concentration in English language. She has published more than 15 research articles in leading journals, also conference processing, including Scopus. Her research interests in English language teaching and the application of technology in education pedagogy. Thank you so much, Dr. Muthammina. I really appreciate your time. I know the difference between here in Kuwait and Indonesia, and how you spend your time. I know it's late out there, and how you join us and wait our event in Kuwait time. Thank you so much. And also I want to thank the sponsor of this event, Youth News Network, for sponsored this event. From Indonesia now to Qatar, Mr. Muhammad Jalal. Mr. Muhammad Jalal is an EFL teacher and high studies researcher in curriculum planning and methodology. He works as a teacher of English language at Ministry of Education and Higher Education in Qatar. He has won many prizes like the Global Teaching Award, Teacher of Year Award by AKS and E2, Microsoft Education Exchange 2020, Australia. He is ambassador for many global education platforms and organizations like Wakilit, Cosmos Edu, and Code Week. He is MIE expert, master trainer, and Minecraft Global Monitor by Microsoft. He is a national coordinator for European robotics. In addition to education, training, and counseling, he provides workshops in field of education, e-learning, methodology, and assessment. Thank you so much, Mr. Muhammad, for joining us today, and the floor is yours.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. First of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Ahmed Al-Qattan for organizing such a great international webinar. And as always, I say that collaborating together during this hard time is very important for all of us. As we meet, we exchange our experience and also collaborate to learn from each other during this hard time. So I'd like to thank you again, and of course I'd like to thank the sponsor for this event, Youth News in Kuwait and ITAR Group. Thank you very much, and I'm so happy today to be with Professor Sharif from Egypt and Dr. Mutmainna from Indonesia. Today, inshallah, I'm going to talk about one of the most important tool that has become, let me say, as a must that we have to use in teaching learning process. It's about using AR and VR technology in teaching. For many years ago, some people thought about how can we implement or can find a day that we can use such technology in education. It has been started from like engineering to medicine, and nowadays it can be used also in education. So let me share with you my screen and start my presentation, please. Thank you, Dr. Ahmed. As Dr. Ahmed mentioned, my name is Mohammed Galal. I am from Egypt, but I live and work in Qatar as a teacher of English language, Ministry of Education and Higher Education. Thanks a lot. I'm not going to talk about myself or introduce because Dr. Ahmed has mentioned everything. Thank you very much. Today, inshallah, as I am one ambassador for CoSpaces Edu and MergeCube, and they are two of the best platforms that you can ever use to design your materials through VR and ER. And it's very important, as I has mentioned, to integrate and implement new modern technology in teaching learning process. Today my topic will be about AR and VR in teaching learning process, and my presentation, inshallah, has four main points. The first one is the difference between AR, VR, and MR, and what each one of them stands for. In addition, we have the pros or advantages of using AR and VR in education. Thirdly, we have examples of AR and VR. Last but not least, we have how to let me say how to design or the procedures of using AR and VR in education. Some examples of my classroom, inshallah. How do you see if I ask you about the two students in the two cases you are seeing now? The first one on the left, he is disappointed, he feeling bored, he doesn't have any motivation to learn anything. But the other one is exploring solar system. He is trying to discover, he is engaged in the learning process, and that's what we mean when we want to use technology in teaching learning process. Let me say that technology or all apps from technology is not a goal itself. They are not a goal. It's just a tool that can help me to achieve my goals, to achieve my objectives in the classroom and out the classroom. So I am not using technology in the classroom just to say I am using new modern technology or just for a show. No. It's a big problem, and it's a misunderstanding of technology. So you have to use technology just to achieve your goal, and also you have to choose which kind of technology that your students need to for the specific topic you are going to teach them. This is why a teaching learning process, we can say that motivation is considered one of the essential and important parts of education. So we have to think of new modern teaching strategies and methods of teaching that could help us not only making students engaged and more involved in the lesson, but also we have to help them to enjoy while they are learning. Let me share with you this statement about the National Center for STEM Elementary Education that shows that a negative interest in science begins in elementary schools, where about 33% of girls and boys in the fourth grade express their negative attitudes. And by the end of elementary school, they found that it's about 50% they express negative attitudes. So here the point is how we can build or develop 21st century skills, okay, if we are not using 21st century instruction techniques. So I think it's a must nowadays. I know that we were moving step by step to the digital era or digital time in everything in all fields of our life, but COVID-19 and this pandemic made it's very like it's a must that we have to move faster and faster. So now let me begin with the difference between before I talk about the difference between AR and VR. Let me show you how we can see AR and VR in teaching learning process, and also how you can imagine that you can introduce your content using this kind of technology. Well, I think it's very important and will be like interesting for our students to explore and get the information instead of just sitting on the front of the teachers and just receiving a lot of information from teachers. So what? After that, they will forget everything. But if they explore everything, explore and get information, and at the same time they play, enjoy, and discover, I think it will be wonderful experience in a learning process. So let me explain the difference between AR, VR, and MR. So the first one is called AR. AR stands for augmented reality. This one, it's an interactive experience of a real-world environment. Let me say that the fundamental or the main idea behind augmented reality is to add something to your experience of reality. So if you are watching now a movie or playing a game, AR adds to that in some way or form it to turn in to be like immersive and attractive. This is what I mean by augmented reality or AR. Let's move to virtual reality. This one is VR, which stands to virtual reality. It means creating a simulation of a real world experience that a person can enter or leave at any time using this kind of technology. And I think it will be like a real world. When you touch, you explore, you discover information with your hands instead of just receiving information from teacher, or the teacher asked asks you students to open your book, read the content about any topic, then give me information, it will be very boring for me as a teacher and for my students as learners. Well, third one, which stands for mixed reality, and with its name, it's called the mixed reality. So it's like AR and VR together to give us a wonderful experience. This one, third term, in which the user is given the ability to explore the virtual environment and the real world seamlessly at the same time. Here you can find that the learner can explore, can touch by his or her hands to find information about parts of the body, or any content that the teacher can design with this technology. It will be interactive, immersive, and it will be more. It will help. It will help students to be more engaged in teaching learning process. Well, why we should use this kind of technology, or what are advantages of using AR and VR in education? I think the first one is it's very important for learning process, as I have mentioned, I have just mentioned, it creates fun and excitement for students. Imagine, as I have mentioned, students they touch the heart, or touch any parts of the body and start exploring information about it. It takes us to the second point, as it increasing students' participation in the class. Also, it can help to improve and increase how students recognize and how students memorize information regarding any concerning any topic. Well, AR also in education provides interactive lessons for students because of all the interactive models and lessons. Of course, it will be a great tool if you want to visualize your content and make it like a story. It helps more in increasing learning activity. Well, as I have started my presentation with mentioning CoSpace Edu and MergeCube, I think they are the best the best two platforms which is specialized in AR and VR. They are the first one, MergeCube. It's an American platform. CoSpace Edu, it's a German platform. And as you see now, the website for the first one is called mergeedu.com. The second one is cospaces.io. Through using this technology, students can explore, let me say, for example, like a galaxy in the palm of their hand. They can also hold fossils and ancient artifacts. They can examine them, and they even can create their virtual objects that they can hold and share. CoSpaces Edu, the one on the right, it's a German, as I have just mentioned. With this one, you enable your students to build and decode their own content, engage and captivate your students to enhance their digital learning skills, digital literacy skills. As Dr. Mutmainna mentioned, as we are moving as a teacher to be a digital teacher, our students also have to move to be like digital learners. Well, how does it work? How does it work? This one, we can say that Merge or CoSpaces Edu, they make it easy to implement augmented and virtual reality in your school. Unlike other apps, you can find different apps from that depends or based on VR and VR, but these types or this kind of technology are designed for students and the classrooms. 21st century skills or classrooms, I think they require state-of-the-art teaching tools. So integrating AR and VR into your school will help more your students to use the technology that will be part of their daily life, giving them an opportunity, an advantage as they are preparing for their future career, inshallah. They also provide additional resources to help students meet performance expectations and achieve better learning outcomes. Merge education or merge edu can be used by students through the school year, encouraging the use of hands-on learning tools. This one can improve intelligence and also can improve performance in general in many subjects. Well, even your students with special needs, this one will be wonderful and more effective for them because they are more likely to connect with others, share and explore what they are seeing, feeling, and also what they are thinking. On the website, you will find the teacher dashboard, which gives the teachers the ability to easily navigate their classroom's content, explore and share activities, and even you can track your students' progress. Here you can find also activity plans that can help teachers and guide students through each STEM activity in Merge apps, so students get the most out of every science or every content. Let me summarize the advantages or the pros of using AR and VR in education. It brings lesson plans to life. It helps more and enables 21st century learning and develop 21st century skills like critical thinking, collaboration, communication, and research. It will be more effective if you want to visualize your content, as I have mentioned. From my point of view here, I'm going to show you how I have used this technology in my classroom here in Qatar while teaching English language. So imagine, or as you see now, these are three topics from my book here in Qatar for grade 11. The first one is about is reading a passage about some people. They are talking about their jobs. The second one is about the world of unusual actions, and the last one is about a famous place here in Qatar. It's called Souk Waqf. What do you think, or how can I teach or create the content materials for this content, these three reading lessons? If I want to teach them like in traditional way, okay, open my book, open your book, my students, then read the text. After that, you have to answer 1, 2, 3 questions, or you have to answer this worksheet. Well, in this traditional way, I think it will not be effective nowadays for our students to they need to be more engaged in the classroom. There is no motivation in just reading a text. It's one passage, or it's one page or 2 pages. How can students read 1 or 2 pages with this long text? I think it will be more boring for our students. But I decided to try and use AR and VR and visualize the content from my book to be like that. I designed the content like a story, so that students can play, they can discover information about the jobs or places here in Qatar, or even about the abnormal or unusual actions by people, so that they can understand the content easily. I believe that we as teachers, we shouldn't give students information directly, but we should, as teachers, we should give them the chance, the opportunity to discover, to discover the content, to get the information by themselves. Well, here we have the steps which I followed while using this technology. After designing all the lessons on CodeSpaces Edu, the German platform, here I have to present the strategy to my students, explain all the instructions needed for them, and make sure before starting my tasks or my lesson, I have to make sure that all my students they understand the procedures or how they can use this kind of technology to learn the content about the topic. Well, so I give them all instructions. I explained the strategy and how it's going on with them. Here, I give them time to work on tasks here and also to explore the content. Here, you have a very important role as a teacher. I know some of you may say that nowadays we can say that technology will replace teachers. This will not happen anymore. But of course, teachers who use technology will replace those who don't. Here we have another task, which is to follow up your students' work and make sure that all your students do not have any problems in dealing with this kind of technology. You guide, you help, you support, you share instructions, you don't teach them directly. You are not giving them or giving them information directly. Here you are just like facilitator. Well, as I have mentioned at the beginning of my presentation, that technology is not the goal. Technology is not the goal anymore. It's just a tool that helps me as a teacher and enable my students to achieve, understand, and by the end of the learning course or by the end of the year or your course, you will be able to achieve your goals. Well, here here I can say that also you have to assess and to move to the process of assessment to any tool that you use in your classroom to make sure that this one is effective and this kind of technology fits the needs of your students and they are suitable for their level of learning, because sometimes you can find teachers use they attend or joined any online course or joined any conference and learned more about technology and more different apps, but when he choose or try to choose one of them, this kind of technology may be not effective for the level of our students or not effective for the subject itself. So any tool you use, you have to make sure that this one is effective. Well, after I have used AR and VR, and by the way, I have been using this kind of technology for 1 year. All the last year I have been using this technology because I believe that I have to find a new modern technology that can help my students to understand the content. And after we moved to remote learning here in Qatar, we used Microsoft Teams and Microsoft Office as a platform or remote learning apps. I have also integrated AR and VR lessons in Microsoft Teams. So even in remote learning, you can integrate technology in technology. You can integrate different apps in just one apps. You can make use of technology, and how can you integrate different apps in just one app like Microsoft Teams or Google Classroom. So this is how I integrated this lesson in Microsoft Teams. It's very easy, just apply plus. Then you have to add the lesson from a CoSpaces Edu. And after that, I have to provide them with a forms link to make sure that they understand the content of the lesson. Here and after using this kind of technology, I can say that my students got high scores in all worksheets I have given to them. They were engaged and they play, enjoy, explore, and discover, and at the same time they learned more about the content of my lesson. There was interactivity between my students and all materials I have designed for them, and they were able to understand the content easily than before. This one helps me and my students to improve critical thinking and 21st century skills. I want to end my speech here by a statement which was said by Henry Ford. It's about some people who more of the time they say that it's very hard to learn a new technology. No, it's not hard. It's just easy. If you want to do anything, you will do. So anyone who stops learning is old, whether you are 20 or 80. It doesn't matter anymore. It's just in yourself. If you want to do anything, you will do it. Just keep working hard. Nowadays we can find we have everything, courses online, free online courses, webinars, conferences about technology, different materials, everything. Just if you want to do anything, I am sure that you will do it. And if you find yourself saying, I can't nowadays, or even I need more time, just add the word yet and start improving your skills, because as I have mentioned, technology will not replace you, but teachers who use technology. We don't know about the future, but they will move. They will replace teachers who do not use technology. Thank you very much for your time and the consideration. Thanks again for Dr. Ahmed Al-Qattan for this wonderful and interesting webinar. These are my social media accounts. Feel free to contact with me and start collaborating together. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Thank you so much, Mohammed. I don't know what can I say. Actually, this is the third time I watch the same presentation, and every time I want to watch it again and again. And you know that it's really interesting, and you take us to another life, you know. And the good thing that you put in your slide how you link the technology with the real life or with your classes, and how you deal with your student via this technology.
That's the point. Yeah.
Exactly. And the good thing for me, I really like the technology and this stuff, but I didn't see before that teachers or universities that deal with AR or VR nowadays. And as you said, 1 year ago you start already, or maybe before. So I think COVID-19, it's piece of cake for you, using the technology and how to deal with the teaching and materials, and how a student can easily understand it better than the old school, open the book and read it and this stuff. Thank you so much. And I know 100% there is many doctors, professors from all over the world want to ask you questions. Guys, just wait until end of the presentation and we'll open the session for any question for all the speakers. Thank you, Mr. Mohammed Al-Jalal, for a wonderful presentation. And we'll go to the last speaker, Dr. Sharif Ismail. Dr. Sharif Ismail is Associate Professor in Management Information System, Business Information System, Egyptian, Germany Academy. Dr. Ismail has a strong background in theoretical and particular aspect of management information system. He received his undergraduate degree in computer science and MS in software engineering, as well as MBA. He received his PhD in management information system. His theoretical background was developed and sharpened by acquiring 2 postgraduate degrees in the field and attending a series of professional training courses offered by internationally renowned training providers. He was previously appointed as a senior lecturer at University of Hill, assistant professor at University of Dammam, assistant professor at Al-Qura University in Saudi Arabia, and senior lecturer at American University. His research lies mainly in AL, nature language processing, knowledge management, and sentiment analysis. His work as developed designer analyst. Thank you, Dr. Sharif, for being here today. Thank you so much for give us from your time, and the floor is yours.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Ahmed. Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. Firstly, I would like to thank Dr. Ahmed Al-Qattan, the founder of ITAR Group in Kuwait, as well as my colleague, Dr. Mutmainna and Dr. Muhammad Jalal. Really, also I need to thank his great effort to prepare such a webinar. Dear participants, I would like to share some thought with you regarding artificial intelligence in education during COVID-19, and based our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what is little and sufficient is better than what is abundant and negligent. So I try to make my presentation short as possible as I can. Today, the global crisis linked to the COVID-19 pandemic exceed by far the public health sphere, as it is deeply challenges the fabric of our modern societies and leaving no sector unaffected. Education has been no exception, and more than 180 countries around the world shut down all schools, affecting the lives of almost 1.6 billion children, youth, and their families. During the COVID-19 crisis, countries have implemented a range of measures to cope the educational impact of the pandemic. In times of emergency, speed in the implementation of responses is key by evidence of what may work is limited, and the constraint on resources and the capacity are pending. I try to propose some ideas with you regarding how to use artificial intelligence to strengthen the educational process. Our outline today, I will talk about what is AI, the role of AI in learning, some example of AI in learning, finally, my recommendation. Let us go for this terminology. We hear a lot about AI. So let us define the AI. AI stands for artificial intelligence. There are a lot of definitions for this terminology, but we choose 2 of them. Firstly, we can define as a branch of computer science dealing with simulation of intelligent behavior in computers. The second one, the capability of machine to imitate intelligent human behavior. Based on this definition, we can say that AI refers to the theory and the development of computer system with a capability of performing repetitive tasks that require human intelligence. The artificial intelligence in education market enable solution and the service perform various functions such as knowledge delivery, grading and the grouping of a student on performance basis, and intelligent tutorial system to improve the learning experience of a student and teacher. Artificial intelligent technologies such as deep learning, machine learning, and natural language processing are applied to education and the training software to improve performance and the learning experience. Artificial intelligent technology are implemented as peer educational models such as learner model, pedagogical model, and domain model to improve educational system for better and knowledge delivery and assessment. So let us just take an idea about the traditional programming and machine learning. Anyone of you has a little background about programming? Before, in the traditional programming, we are used to define a variable as input and then write a program, then we get the output. So process output. This is what we call it traditional programming. So for example, if we need to calculate two numbers, we have to define a variable for the first one, another variable for the second number, and the third variable for the output. So after that, we have to write the program by any language to calculate this operation. In machine learning, the method is great difference. We have to have data as example and output, or we call it label data. And after that, the machine can learn by this training and give us the best classifier or best program to get the highest performance. Now, let us go for a definition of machine learning. Machine learning, a branch of artificial intelligence concerned with the design and the development of algorithms that allow computers to evolve behavior based on empirical data. Defined as a computer program is said to learn from experience E with respect to some classes of task T and the performance measure B. If its performance at task in T as measured by P improved with experience E. Task, what is the problem that the program is solving? Experience, what is the data? Example, what the program is using to improve its performance. Performance measure, how is the performance of the program when solving the given task evaluated. The role of artificial intelligence in learning, the transformative power of artificial intelligence cut across all economic and the social sectors, including education. Education will be profoundly transformed by artificial intelligence based on UNESCO Director General. Artificial intelligence will be evolving the teaching tools, ways of learning, access to knowledge, and the teacher training. Artificial intelligence has the potential to accelerate the process of achieving the global education goal through reducing the barrier to access learning, automating management process, and optimizing a method in order to improve learning outcomes. And the improvement of the education system, an important role is played by artificial intelligence by providing various purposes such as to personalize the help, meet a variety of student needs, support teacher, identify weaknesses in the classroom, automate grading, supporting student, and allow teacher to act as a learning motivators. At present, multiple choice material can be automatically graded by using artificial technology. Whereas in future, the technology evolves, it is expected that as artificial intelligence technology will be able to perform different jobs more than the standardized one. The global AI in education market is projected to reach about 3.68 billion by 2023 at a compound annual growth rate of 47% during the forecast period between 2018 till 2023. Let us see some example of artificial intelligence in learning. The first example, we talk about smart learning content and content analytics. The concept of smart content is a trendy theme now, as artificial intelligence can create digital content with the same degree of grammatically prose as a human. Smart learning content creation, from digitized guides of textbooks to customizable learning digital interfaces, are being introduced at all levels, from elementary to post-secondary to corporate environments. One of the ways to use this in an educational system is when artificial intelligence can condense the content in broadening troubleshooting guides into more digestible study guides with troubleshooting step, summary, flashcard, and intelligent simulators. Smart learning content can also be used to design a digital curriculum and the content across a variety of devices, including video, audio, and an online assistant. The next example, what we call it intelligent tutoring system. Artificial intelligence can do more than condense a lecture into flashcard and smart study guides, as it can also tutor learning or tutor a learner based on a difficulty they are having. This involves something known as a mystery learning. Mystery learning, by the way, is a set of principles largely tied to the work of educational psychologist Bloom in 1970. This supported the effectiveness of individualized tutoring and instruction in the classroom. There are now smart tutoring systems that use the data from a specific learner to give them the feedback and work with them directly. For instance, an intelligent tutoring system called Sherlock is being used to teach Air Force technicians to diagnose electrical system problem in aircraft. Another advanced version of intelligent tutoring system is avatar-based training modules, which were developed by University of Southern California to train military personnel being sent on international posts. In fact, artificial intelligence application is still in its early stage. It will soon be able to work as a full integrated digital platform that helps learners with their regional needs in just about any area of needs. Also, this platform will soon be able to adapt to a wide variety of learning style to help every educator and learner. The third example, we call it as a virtual facilitator and learning environments. With artificial intelligence, an actual lecturer may soon be replaced by robots. Well, not entirely, but there are already virtual human mentors and facilitators that can think and act like human. But how does a virtual facilitator think or act like a human? A new trending technology is known as the touchless technology or gesture recognition technology gives virtual facilitator the ability to respond or act like human in a natural way, responding both verbal and non-verbal cues. Smart learning environments and the platform use artificial intelligence, 3D gaming, and computer animation to create realistic virtual characters and the social interaction. This initiative includes more than virtual facilitator, as augmented reality may soon be a part of the training. I think almost of us see Sophia, robot Sophia. It's a very good example for what we say. The fourth example, automation of administrative tasks. Artificial intelligence has great potential in automating and expediting administrative tasks for both organizations and professors, reading homework, evaluating essays, and for offering value to student responses is where educators spend the most time. Artificial intelligence can already automate the grading process in multiple choice tests in order to allow educator to spend more time with the student one-on-one, but the technology may soon be able to do more than this. Software developers are creating new ways to grade written responses and essays as well. The admission process is also said to benefit as artificial intelligence can automate the processing and the classification of paperwork. The last example, what we call it automatic question generation for education purpose. As we know, as educator, exam style questions are a fundamental educational tool serving a variety of purpose in addition to the role as an assessment instrument. Question have the potential to influence student learning. Some of the benefit of using a question are offering the opportunity to practice retrieving information from memory, providing learners with feedback about their misconception, focusing learner attention on the important learning material, reinforcing learning by repeating a core concept, motivating learner to engage in learning activities. All these objectives we can achieve, and more of them by using artificial intelligence. Finally, we have a two research group focus on this topic, automatic question generation for educational purpose and automatic student tracking and monitoring. Any researcher can join us to collaborate with us for this two research group. Thank you so much. And once again, thank you, Dr. Ahmed.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sharif, for informative and useful information. And I really like how you present and the information that you give it to us. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now we'll open the floor for any question. Please, anyone have a question, just raise hand and we'll go one by one for any question. Starting with Mid Hassan. Please unmute your mic.
Okay. Hello. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Assalamu alaikum. I am from Bangladesh, Open University, Bangladesh. Thank you very much for organizing such kind of conference. I am really happy to see the Arab area to go ahead with the distance education and intelligence of in education sector. Thank you for your organization. Thank you for your so nice conference and nice presentation.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Abdurrahman?
Is it clear, my voice?
Yes. Yes, it is.
I have a question like for both Dr. Muhammad Jalal, I think, and the Indonesian doctor. I forgot her name. My first question, Dr. Muhammad Jalal, is regarding the VR and AR technology. I'd like to ask him from his experience, which age that this technology works the best? I mean, which like for in school or at university, which is the use of this technology is the best option? This is for Dr. Muhammad Jalal. And the next is for what is her name? Sorry, I forgot the name. Her name?
Dr. Mutammina. Yeah.
Mutmainnah.
Mutmainnah.
This is from the Holy Quran, you know that.
Mutmainnah. Okay. Doctor, thank you so much for your presentation, and all doctors they presented really valuable presentations. For you, like in Indonesia, I think it's going to be developed country in future. What maybe I can use this in my research paper. If you want to transfer like any technology in education, what is your best options for Indonesian education system to transfer the technology from which country? Like from, you can see the developed countries or from like developed countries, same level.
You can go ahead, Mr. Mohammed.
Okay, thank you, my brother. Thank you for your question and for your kind words. Actually, about the age of using this technology, I think it depends on the content and the subject itself. So we can, I think it fits all the stages or all the level of students in primary or elementary, secondary school, like what I teach here in Qatar. I know many teachers in Egypt, Palestine, and different Arab countries. They use this kind of technology in primary school. So I think it doesn't matter about the level or the age of students. It depends on the content itself and how you design the content. You can design a simple content for students at the early ages in primary school like that, and you can make it more complicated for secondary school. You can implement higher level of thinking, or maybe more complicated or hard tasks for them. But this kind of technology, I think it's more effective for all different levels of ages, because it's more interesting. And you know that nowadays all of us, I'm not talking about just learners, we can find let me say different people, they play video games. So we have to change our concept about gamification, and we can make use of this point and implement it in education in order to because they like gamification, so we can use gamification as a learning tool so that they can achieve our goals. I don't care about the tool, I care about the objectives itself. Because if we if we are able to achieve our goals or objectives inside the classroom, so we are successful teachers. That's all. So about AR and VR, I believe that it depends on the content and how you as a teacher create your content. So you can visualize the content to be more simple for primary schools or students at early ages, or you can make it more complicated. So you can find yourself more interested to try Google's from Microsoft or from any organization if you attended any normal conference in like in universities or in other events. So you are moving. If you see it, if you see this kind of technology, you will not prevent yourself. You are moving directly to this part in the conference, and you have the motivation to try this kind of technology. So we can make use of these motivations, inner motivations in our students, and can achieve our goals.
Dr. Muthammina. Thank you, Mr. Muhammad. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for the question. Hi, Abdul Rahman, can I see you? Open your camera.
Yeah, I don't know how to open the camera. It's sending only audio. This is my.
Okay. I will answer your question. What is the best technology or tool for developing country like Indonesia, like your country or Indonesia? As you know that I'm telling you in my presentation that pedagogy, this is the art of teaching and the science of teaching. And the technology, this is only a tools. Now, how we can teach without technology? For example, when we are looking back again into the conventional situation before today, as you know that there are many technique or method or media can be used. As you know that my country, 50% of my country, they are in the blank spot. Blank spot, namely, they don't have internet connection. So what we should do during the COVID-19, we are practice physical distancing and then social distancing. You can choose a number one. Our ministry have policy to learning and teaching by using television. TV television station. The secondly by using a radio, and the last by namely this is namely luring in Indonesia out of internet, out of daring. The teacher visit the student one by one. Actually, this is a very difficult, but learning and teaching must be go on. And this is namely the traditional or local technology. In the local technology, you can play with your student, for example, like this. This is namely talking stick. Talking stick, for example, this is the pen, and this is you have a paper. You roll like this, and then you can give for your student to playing. This is a game in the conventional situation. And the next, you can use a card. You can create a card, for example. This is the question, and the student can continue the question, the answer, and another. And then after collected all of the process, the card is full. The student can recite the question and answer in the front of the classroom. And the last, maybe you can record yourself your teaching, and then you can visit your student making a group. You can visit, and then you can play your recording, and they watch your material by using your phone. maybe something like that for the low bandwidth or low technology. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Mutmainna. And now going to Muhsin. Muhsin Namtairi, please unmute your mic. Mani.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good evening from Kathmandu. Really, the insightful session by the scholar, the presenter this evening. My name is Mani Ram Sharma, and I'm a scholar from Kathmandu University. I really enjoyed the session because your topic, your ideas, your concepts are very much contextual in the context of language learning, especially in the field of ICT. I think the learners have the multiple realities in learning process in the classrooms. However, the use of IT in the right context is very much important. I have a confusion one aspect, because you all the presenter, the question goes to all the presenter here this evening. So the presenter are highlighting the importance, implication, and recommendation of using ICT, that is technology, in the classroom's learning process. But what happens there are different kind of technology, like local technology, like craft technology, and other technologies are there, where a teacher can use in a different matters. Teacher is not a technician in the classroom. Teacher has a multiple role in the classroom. Therefore, how can a teacher integrate all sort of technologies in the classroom process, not only IT? So my question is again, how a teacher can integrate all sort of technology, including local technology, for the effective teaching and learning process? If I'm not clear, thank you very much.
Thank you. Starting with Dr. Sharif, please. No, Dr. Sharif Ismail, your mic is mute.
Yes. Can he just please repeat his question again?
Mr. Mani.
I got his words, but I want just to confirm one issue. So if he can just repeat it, he talked about how the role of the teacher, how will trade the what we call it the classroom, not only as a technician or from perspective of pedagogy. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean how a teacher can integrate all
local technology, all of the technology, local and ICT.
Okay, if you talk about my presentation or from my point of view, I see there is opportunity to reach out to this education industry faces a unique opportunity. This opportunity, you can reach out to everyone on the earth and provide them all with access to insightful, valuable content. And there are three areas, what we call it, curation, distribution, and consumption. This is only what we call it the main core process for education. In this area, you cannot deal as a technician. You have to, what we call it, add a value as a teacher. But you have also used technology tools as possible as you can, because with the time, this technology will replace the teacher themselves. Okay, but now we have, I think, around 5-6 years, something like that. All the expectation goes for this trend. We have still a time that helps teacher to improve themselves during or in focus on curation and distribution as well as consumption. I hope I answer your question from my point of view based on my presentation.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Sharif. And what about Dr. Mutmainna? What do you think?
Hello?
He asked about.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, yes. Dr. Sharif, we can't hear you. Yeah, go ahead, Mutmainna.
Okay. How to combine between local technology and ICT, information communication and technology. You know, there is the learning, for example, by using blended learning or hybrid learning. We are still doing face-to-face learning, and then actually some of the local technology now becoming in the digital. For example, radio have similar technology, namely PopSketch. You can record yourself and then you can upload it and you can give for your student. But actually for the local technology, this is good for to improving our student communication, emotion, and then their collaboration real in the physical But to mixing it out, the local technology that can be used but not only for a full day or a full meeting. You can make it, for example, by using card that I have explained before, and then the talking stick you can get from a pen or a stick, and then you can give for your student the stick, and they are talking stick, and they are talking. This is example when you are combining with the local technology and ICT in your learning strategy by using blended fiber. Thank you. This maybe this is for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I hope Dr. Muthammina and Dr. Sharif answer your question, Mani. Thank you so much. And before going to Amjad, I ask Mr. Muhammad to reshare two videos. I have many doctors and professors from all over the world ask me if he can put it again or play it again to see it as a second time, please.
Sure. Thank you very much, Dr. Ahmed, and thanks for all attendees from different countries around the world today. I think we have a large number of educators attending with us, and thanks a lot for being so interested in my presentation. So just 1 minute, please. I'm gonna share my presentation. Actually, this one is when I bought these tools from Amazon. And by the way, they are not expensive. And I got it after just 1 week from Amazon. I was playing, you see here, as you see here, I was just, this is my laptop. I was just playing to discover this kind of technology. Here you can find, it was just like a cube, it's called the Merge Cube. And you just use the application from the organization, from this company that transform the Merge Cube to be like the content, to visualize the content as you want. You can find the different lessons. They are already created for you. You just have to use it. No need to create it. A lot of lessons, a lot of presentations, visualizations of the content content. They are, you can find a lot of them. They are ready for you. So no need to start creating your own content if you don't need that. So this one was the second one about merge technology that I use here in Qatar. You can find, or you can design this one. You can design it. This is the heart parts of the body. It's very simple to use and not so difficult. So just my one course or one session, you can train yourself about how to create your own content. Maybe after 1 or 2 lessons, you will be a professional one. And I have sent in the chat box my code as ambassador. You can start making your account on and profile on CodeSpaces Edu. And once you join and create your profile, just use my code to get to upgrade your profile to be a professional and make use of professional features.
Thank you, Mr. Mohammed. And also, I want to ask you, let the video play while we talk. Is it expensive? And many of audience ask, how can they talk those courses? Is there is a course that they can learn how to use these techniques or this kind of technology?
Okay, that's good. Firstly, you have two options. The first one, you can buy merge cubes and tools from Amazon or from the company directly, and this one was just $20 for both two cubes, two merge cubes. So the one was just $10. I think it's not too expensive. And by the second, the second option, you can do the cube itself by yourself. So you can download the design and make it like with paper. So no need to buy the merge cube if you don't need that. So you have two options to buy it, and by the way, it's not expensive. And if you work hard and share your activities using AR and VR, you can join Ambassador Program, and they can send you a gift with a lot of tools that you can use free. This is the second part. About tools. So you have to move to create your own content. The two websites give you free lessons, okay, and the free places to your students. But if you want to go professional and upgrade your profile, you have to pay money. But as I mentioned, I shared my code. This code will help you more to upgrade your content, because we are, as ambassador, the company gives us code so that we can help educators in our country to and spread their technology. So use my code in the chat box while you are creating your profile to get more free features. And if you don't use this one, if you didn't use this one, you will get just the free content. So if you want to start creating your own content with your imagination that fits your students' need and also your subject, your content, so please use my code to get all the features you need for free. This is like my gift to you today. So enjoy it. And as I mentioned, you don't have to need the merge cube. You can make it.
Thank you, Mohammed. And as I know, for example, Apple and maybe Microsoft also as well, nowadays, I think two generation of Apple, I mean the iPhone or iPad, most of them they are working with the games and these these technology. And also I think in December they are already create eyeglasses with these techniques. So all the world change now and go to this new technique of VR and IR as well. So Mohsen, are you with us? Is your mic working or still? No. Amjad?
Yeah. Hello.
Hello, yeah.
Okay. First of all, I would like to thank you for organizing such webinar, and I really encourage you to have more in this field, which is technology and learning. My question is for Mr. Muhammad. Since I share with you same concerns in teaching English as a foreign language. My question is, will we move to the virtual teaching versus the traditional one? Will continue even or after the end of COVID-19? If we let's suggest or propose that will end one day, will the virtual and online learning and teaching continue after this pandemic? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Amjad. That's really a good question. I think that COVID-19 has changed the way we think education, the way we are looking for the future, especially in education field. As you see now, we have here in Qatar started our school yesterday as teachers, and our students will come back to school after just 1 week. Here we still stuck in this this COVID-19. So I think in many countries before COVID-19 they were using technology and also maybe blended learning like America, some countries in the Gulf area like Qatar and United Arab Emirates, because they care a lot about quality in education. Here in Qatar, or maybe in most of countries around the world in the future, I think they will depend more on technology, even in higher education. And about virtual reality, I think companies like Microsoft, Google, nowadays they are doing their best to give you the best ever experience using Microsoft Teams and Google Classroom. Microsoft Teams recently has wonderful and amazing features like Together Mode. Together Mode, you can see all your students like they are in the classroom in front of you. They are dealing with each other. You can see all the expressions. You can see how they can interact together. This is like Dr. Sharif mentioned. This you can find artificial intelligence. We can make use of this kind of technology in education. And in the future, we don't know about the future, but the only thing we know, we shouldn't stop. We have to move fast and make use of this crazy technology in our life. We can do anything with our mobile phones. So why not we can make use of artificial intelligence, make use of AR and VR in teaching learning process, since they can help us to achieve our goals as teachers. And with the help of technology, we are dealing with this problem nowadays. And if this problem happened 100 years before, we don't know how can education go on and our students go or not to the school. So using the technology is a must. Is a must nowadays. And AR, VR, or maybe in the future, we don't know. We can find a new kind of technology in the future. But I think it will be very important to implement all this kind of technology in education.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amjad. Dr. Sharif, there is a question for you.
Yeah, please.
Can the Arab world follow the technology today in the classrooms, do you think?
I believe that actually there is no option. It's mandatory. We have to follow this technology because it's like a strategic weapon. No choice. That challenge is very, very great, and we have to do it, and we can. And Alhamdulillah, our Arab countries start from many years ago, and we can see that in the result of Arab country in the educational sector. Yeah, please.
Thank
That's
you.
it. Thank you.
Thank you. And there is a question for Mr. Muhammad. Can AR and VR technologies be used in inclusive settings, especially if we have students with visual impairment? Are they fully visual?
Thank you, Dr. Ahmed. As I have mentioned, you design your content as you want. You design your lesson according to the content, to your subject, and the one that fits your students' need. So you can do anything as you want, as you prepare the lesson for your students, and you take into in your consideration about 3 levels of students: high achiever, middle achiever, or lower achiever. You can use you can take you in your consideration while you are preparing AR VR content. You can take into your consideration and make sure that the content you create or you design fits to all your students.
Muhammad, you show us in the videos that you shared with us, mostly about buddies and maybe games and these stuff. But as Amina Muhammad asked, as English teacher, how you use these technology AR and VR in your classroom?
Yeah, that's good. As I have mentioned, that I try to visualize the content of reading a text, and I have a research about that, to visualize the content instead of just reading the text. Read the book, open your book, read the content, then answer. It will be very boring for me as teachers and also for my students. So I try to visualize the content like that. So I think it will be interesting to more students to discover more information about people, about places, or even about unusual places or unusual action by people. When they use the Googles from MergeCube or from Microsoft, they act like inside the experience or itself. They are inside the place. They are dealing with characters. They are talking together and try to discover more information about the content. That's what I mean about using AR and VR in visualizing the content of reading a text. So my students enjoyed all the lessons, and they were waiting for this lesson every week, because I try to encourage and motivate them by this kind of technology by the end of each week, to see how they are motivated to use this kind of technology. So if you are Arabic teacher or English teacher teaching Arabic language or English language or any subject, you can create or design your content as you want. So here you can find they are using their mobile phones. They just put mobile phones in front of this MergeCube. This one turns on to be like another environment, another content to be more visualized. Here you find
Mohammed, how many days or how many hours it take to create this material for students?
Well, at the beginning, maybe usually it takes some time to recognize all the features on the website and how to make use of all the features you want. Sometimes you can find you need higher level of features, or you need to be if you want to build your content to be more complex or to be more hard tasks in your this content, so you have to spend more time. But by the way, if you can design just one, then you can edit it and make some changes to fit the new content of your lesson. But
So
anyway, this experience will be great to you as a teacher and your students. After 1 or 2 lessons, it will be easy for you to create any lesson as you want.
So from a scale from 1 to 10, Mohammed, is it hard? Does it need someone specialized in this technology, or maybe I can give it or give it to students, or also for teachers or doctors in universities to learn it? Is it hard, or is it easy going and I can learn it in 1 hour and that's it? It will be a normal for me in.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ahmed. As I mentioned, you can find a lot of companies and organizations that specialized in AR and VR. But these two kind of companies, MergeCube and CodeSpaces Edu, you can find they are specialized in education, especially in education. So their platforms are easy to use and they are simple. You can find even a coding system, coding process. It's very easy to be learned. You may just spend 1 day. You can learn anything about how to create, to visualize your content.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mutmainna. Before go to Saleh Mohammed, we have a question for you. Thanks a lot. Can you, sorry, Doctor, the quiz and the process to help me to choose a good type of pedagogy? Is there any process to find a good type of pedagogy?
Okay, thank you for the question. She or he asked about the quizzes. Actually, this is quizzes, one of the application that you can apply when you are want to gaining attention for your student or for assessment. This is for quizzes. You can download the quizzes and then you can create your question and answer, and then the student can choose by from their smartphone. I mean that here in Quizzes, both of you, student and teacher, download this platform, and then you can play together. And you can send the code of the quizzes for your student, and they can join. Maybe I wanna share to you about the quizzes. Oh, this is not appear here. Okay. Just download it, and then the good pedagogy. Actually, pedagogy, as I mentioned before in my presentation, pedagogy, this is the art of the science of teaching. As educator, as a lecturer or teacher, you must be mastery about the pedagogy before you are becoming a teacher. Because in the pedagogy, this is more about science of teaching, how you create your lesson plan, you redesign your syllabus, and then you choose the learning approach, the model of the learning, for example, a student-centered approach, for example, for cheap student 21st-century skill by using project-based learning and many more. There are many methods, but remember, you must be consideration about your student condition. For example, in my classroom, for the first time, I use technology. For example, this is just only example. I use Zoom. To teach or to remote my learning and teaching process with a synchronous strategy. but there are many challenges with my student. This is rest of quota because Zoom, like today, we are doing today in this webinar, this is very high bandwidth and costs much money. Rest of quota. And now I ask my student what they need, what they want. They want only by WhatsApp, so we go to by using WhatsApp. And maybe in another teacher or student have another problem. I mean that you can ask, you can analyze your student condition. What is the tool of the technology that familiar to you and your student? Maybe Mr. Muhammad Galar familiar with Microsoft, but my student they're not familiar with Microsoft. They are only familiar with a Zoom maybe, or a Google Classroom, or Edmodo, or ClassDojo. So go ahead, use that. Use that. I mean that be yourself in your teaching. Know your student condition and your self condition. I think this is for me. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Before going to question for Dr. Sharif, many of the audience ask about the registration and about the certificate. If you attend the webinar until the end, already all of you registered already, so no need for a link or a form to register. Don't worry. There is a question, Dr. Sharif Ismail. We need to know the future learning. We need to know the future learning via teach at the developing countries, especially at those poor countries throughout same disaster such as pandemic. Before that, Dr. Mutmainna told us how she deal with these things. Like there is some part or some in her country that didn't have a good internet. So how she deal with that in her class. So what do you think, Dr. Sharif? Dr. Sharif? We can't hear you. Your mic is mute, Dr. Sharif.
Hello?
Okay now, okay now. Yeah.
Did you hear me, please?
Now we can hear you.
Hello?
Yes, now we can hear you, Doctor.
Did you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, please. Once again, repeat the question because I didn't hear you.
Sure. The future learning via teaching at the developing country, especially at those poor countries throughout the same disaster such as pandemic. The question from Adnan.
Okay, well, actually, as we said before, the Arab country started this evolutionary for education, especially to adapt with this new technology. But still, there is a great challenge, especially in the what we call it physical part, teacher themselves. Also, we need a very good infrastructure to enhance the technology, what we call it, for this teacher. Also, we need to improve resources for teacher, especially in their, what we call it, local language, because we suffer a lot. We can find a lot of material, a lot of resources in English, but now we need to enhance our local, what we call it, local language, especially in Arabic. Our sharing and our contribution in this direction is very poor, really, to be frank. Also, we need a new educational model. We need also to try to reduce the cost of education itself. This is my answer. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Can I
Nasra?
talk?
Yes, Alexa.
Yes. I am teacher Nasra Jum'a. I am from Palestine. I teach English. I just want to thank Dr. Mutmainna and Mr. Muhammad Jalal and Ismail Ashraf for sure. I want to add something concerning the education in Palestine. I think we have so many challenges concerning the e-learning or learning through online techniques. We have many obstacles and problems concerning students. They can't react or they can't be connected through the internet with their teachers. So we have many challenges using these techniques in Palestine. I don't know how can we manage through these obstacles or get to reach our students and give them the feedback. They don't know how to use all these applications. They don't know how to use them in order to assist them or make them have the material. Also, Mr. Muhammad Jalal is a great educator who is connected with us in Palestine. He gave us many sessions concerning these applications. He made so many good steps in teaching in Palestine. I want to thank him so much. And I want to thank all of you for such an opportunity and participating in this conference, in this great conference. I want to thank you all from the depth of my heart.
Thank you so much, Nasra. Thank you very much. Rafiq?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I think you don't hear me.
No, we are hearing
we
you.
can't
Go
hear
ahead.
you.
Ahmed, let me know if you hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Good evening.
Sorry, Rafiq, we hear you, but I think you have problem with your speaker. I think if you can write your question in the Q&A or the chat, and I can pass it to any of the speakers. We have a question from Fatima Aloush. Dr. Muhammad, can we use the kind of learning AR and VR in chemistry classes? Can we make a webinar or to create or to deal with this technology via chemistry class?
Yeah, of course. Imagine that you did that with English language. What you can achieve in science or math, it will be great experience for your students to visualize. And as you have just seen the parts of the body or heart, it was really interesting for students to touch the heart and learn more about its functions, its jobs. So it will be interesting for your students if you, as a science teacher, designed your content based on AR and VR. And about if you are interested in learning more, as I mentioned, you have a free online course from EmergeCube and the CodeSpaces Edu that this course gives you all instructions and how to start your journey with AR and VR. And of course, if you need anything about this technology, feel free to contact with me and follow me. It's my pleasure.
Shukran, Mohammed. And I think Rafiq, this is his question. What should countries focus on? Target programs to include the most vulnerable children with equipment and connectivity, improve connectivity for schools that need it most. Improve financial of digital curriculum and materials, digital libraries, lessons, learning items, and so on. Or improve telecommunication capabilities for school to be able to deliver education online. I think I don't know how can you answer this question, guys. It's about technology or have the internet. I think it's both work together. What do you think, Dr. Sharif?
I totally agree with you. Actually, we need to, what we call it, stress in all these tools. But from my point of view, if we just enhance the technology of telecommunication, also we can get a very powerful result. Because actually, like now we use this program, what we call it Zoom, okay? So we can connect with anyone all over the world. So just to focus with telecommunication at the beginning, and after that, the education sector will be improved by another material, curriculum, and etc. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sharif. Also, I want to ask Dr. Mutmainna and Mr. Mohammed regarding a question from Raed Muhammad Ali Daour. He asked about how you can use the technology in exam, in doing exam in the class or quizzes online. So the same thing. I don't know, like how you can use this technology maybe in not just in teaching. Now we are talking about exams and quizzes.
Yeah, I got it. Dr. Mutmainna, you can answer, or I can start.
You can start, because I know this is your part of material in another country about the assessment.
Okay, thank you.
You can go ahead.
Actually, this is one of the most important challenges that many countries faced during remote learning, how to go on for process of assessment. And maybe just 1 week, I had another event talking about how or creating an authentic assessment in online classrooms. So nowadays we can find we have a lot of apps that we can use in process of assessment. But when we try to or we choose one of them, you have to pay attention to the characteristics of authentic assessment, which means one of them requires the students to develop responses rather than to select from options like that. And another one elicits higher order thinking in addition to basic skills. Directly evaluate holistic project helps us. We can choose also application of these apps nowadays from Microsoft or from Google or even from any other company that with clear criteria. Okay, and the one that relate more closely to classroom learning, and the one that helps us as teachers to teach students to evaluate their own work. Like, for example, I asked my students to write an essay about a persuasive or argumentative text about a specific topic. Then they sent it to me on Microsoft Teams. I supported them with the feedback. They got it. That's all about for writing tasks. Even you can use Microsoft Forms or Google Forms for your students to create authentic assessment. For example, you can create different quizzes or exams to your students to prevent them from taking answers from each other or from cheating. So you can create different levels of exams and quizzes. Technology has become one of the most important parts of our life. So we cannot ignore or neglect it. So we have to make use of it in all parts of teaching learning process, and assessment is one of the most important parts of teaching learning process.
I totally agree with you, Muhammad. You take me 1 year ago in 2019 in San Francisco in United States. I attend the biggest conference in education with American Accounting Association, which is one of the biggest organization in accounting, and also they have a conference for teaching. And one of the technology that I found last year, they give me glasses with a VR technology and a pen. So I sit down in the chair and I can see the classes or the classes in the university in the other country and everything in the live. 100% live, and they give me a question and I can answer it in the paper, and everything that the teacher or the professor in the other university can see what I wrote 100%, and he can tell me is it right or wrong, and also I think it solved the problem if the student want to cheat, he can't do anything because he already wear the classes. I know it's something wow, and something I don't think all the university can do that, but it's for maybe next generation, or maybe 2 years or 1 year ago, I don't know, but something really fabulous and something amazing that I am sitting at my home, and in the same time I am in the real life. I can see the chairs, I can see the board, I can see the professor at the same time he teaching in front of me. So really it was an amazing
yeah, what did you feel after, what did you feel by the end of this session?
Actually, Mohammed, see, at the first 1 minute, I feel like I am not in the class, but after 2 minutes, no, I feel I am in the class 100%. I can feel his voice, I can feel everything. Also, there is one thing, it's not about education, but maybe in the future they will link it with the education. I lived before in Portsmouth in United Kingdom, and there is one store close to my flat. They have a new technology called I think 7K. It's not 4K, so 7K. Same thing. You wear the glasses, and also you wear a jacket, and they give you 2 sticks. You can choose exactly. You can choose which, like for example, Disneyland or anything. You can go there, for example, to Paris, and you are in the same place. You can go and play in this game or this game. Also, there is something like gum shooting or something like this. If they shoot me, I can feel it. I can feel it like in the real life. So I think it's a game. Yes, it's a game, but nowadays everything it will go to technology, as you show us you show us the body and how they take the heart outside. If this is in the real life without technology, it will cost so much. It will cost so much. But in the technology, maybe the high school student can see that and deal with it easily than bring a real body. What do you think, Dr. Sharif?
That's great. Actually, I'm enjoying a lot from your talking about this. Actually, we used to use it, and the next will be very fabulous. Actually, with what we call it touchless technology and the gesture recognition technology. It give virtual facilitator. You cannot imagine how they now need to absorb the information from your brain. You cannot imagine that. For example, you know what Microsoft did with Professor Stephen.
Yeah.
So all the new approaches in this trend is very fabulous. So let us see the future. What will present for us in this trend?
Thank you, Dr. Sharif, for your answer. And this session, it won't end, guys. It won't end. It's a trend actually, and we are dealing with this technology, with education. It's a trend nowadays, hot topic nowadays, and also we are dealing with it every single day. As Muhammad said, like for example, I don't know if it's in Qatar, you start the teaching, or in Kuwait also soon. Sorry, we started already, and now we are in exams. So everyone, teachers, professors, doctors, and all over the world, I think they are dealing with this technology nowadays. But what we need to follow the technology. We need to see what other countries use. I know there is many doctors and the professors see how Muhammad talk about the IR and VR, how Dr. Sharif or Dr. Mutmainna talk about, and they said, for example, what they talk about it. We can't do this in our class. We can't give each student these eyeglasses, okay, but as Muhammad said, it's not that expensive, but it's good to know there is this technology here in Kuwait. We are not far from Qatar or Egypt or also Indonesia, but not all the university do that. This is not a normal, but it's good to know this technology. It's good to improve myself as a teacher, as a doctor, to follow the technology and be a better teacher or a better professor at the university. As all of the speakers said, is take another level in education and make the student focus more, didn't let them feel boring at the class, focus and understand the information is stuck in their mind than the old school technique. Thank you all the speakers, and also for the sponsor الهيئة العامة للشباب for and شبكة أخبار الشباب for the sponsor this event. Thank you all for joining us, and also the speakers, especially Dr. Mutmainna, because I know the different timing for you. I don't know what's the time out there. It's 3 or 5 a.m. So thank you so much. I know the time that you give it to us, Dr. Mutmainna, and also Mr. Muhammad. Dr. Sharif, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Your time. Guys, there is many sessions, workshop, and also conference, and many of you ask me about two things. The first thing about the certificate. I have all the names, so don't worry, there is no link. I have all the names, and you will get the certificate in a week or 9 days. Also, how to know what is the next event, how to know the next webinar, what it will talk about, what it will be. You can find it in all those accounts. All those accounts, and also there is a page in the Facebook. You can join and update. You see the update of ITAR and what is the next event it will be. Thank you again, Dr. Sharif, Mr. Mohammed, Dr. Mutmainna, for your time, for your effort, and it won't be the last time we'll work together. Inshallah, it will. There is many session and event. I will do it soon. Thank you, and see you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I will stay for 5 minutes if anyone have any question for me. If you have questions for Dr. Sharif or Mohammed or Dr. Mutmainna, you can send them an email directly.
Well, we are happy to be here. I'm very happy. Thank you, Dr. Ahmed.
Thank you, Dr. Ahmed, for this wonderful, interesting, and let me say, we enjoyed more today with you. Even I was at the school and I spent most of my time today at the school, but I was so excited to join this session and to be with Dr. Sharif and Dr. Mutmainna, and to be here today with a lot of teachers from different countries, especially in the Middle East. I really appreciate their attendance today, and I wish all of you a happy academic year full of success and achievements. Here in Qatar, we started yesterday as teachers, and we are going to start for our students after 1 week as we blended learning. So using the technology is just like a must in our life, and also has become an education. So wish you happy academic year, inshallah. And I think this year you will have more time to learn more about technology, or even develop your skills in different fields like technology, maybe methodology, or 21st century skills. So make use of time and do not waste your time. I think through remote learning, we have a lot of time. We can do many things during this time. So thank you very much for being with us today, and thanks for having me with you. Thank you. See you soon, inshallah.
Thank you, Mohammed. Dr. Sharif, if you can give us a word about, if you can give us a word about what you can tell professors, teachers around the world who didn't use a technology yet, or they feel like it's hard to use it.
First, I appreciate your great effort, and my greeting also delivered to the audience. Actually, today, all of our educational course material are quoted by human, by professor, by teacher. But there will come a tipping point by 2030, equipped with artificial intelligence and with unlimited access to powerful cloud computing resources. Curriculum savvy machine will be able to tap into the power of the cloud to create material that, based on a wealth of available data are specifically tailored to the needs, aspiration, and the learning style of each individual student. So we have a good chance to develop our curriculum, our material before this point came. This is my advice. We have to do our best and focus on curation, distribution, consumption. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. What about you, Dr. Mutmainna? If you can tell us like the last word before closing the session.
This is closing statement. My closing statement, the first one, don't give up. And then secondly, remember again, we are a teacher, educator. We are the planner, we are designer, we are the manager. And
Everything.
you know that everything. And then we are evaluator. Actually, teaching, this is the complex process. So what about you, how to involve student emotion and many more, because we are human, we are not machine. So let me say, upgrade yourself, upgrade your competence, your skill, because today we are in the digital and in the disruptive era. So be ready. I think that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you again, all speakers, for your time and effort. Thank you again, all the audience, for your time. And I hope you enjoy this workshop. I know it's 2 weeks or 3 weeks we are you were waiting for this event, and alhamdulillah, this is the event and this is the information that we get from the stars that we have today, Dr. Mutmainna, Mr. Muhammad Jalal, and Dr. Sharif Ismail. Thank you again. Big thanks for everyone, and see you next time.
Thank you. Happy New Hijri year. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you and happy Hijri.
Thank you. Bye bye. See you next. See you again.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
So bye bye.
Bye bye.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. Guys, again, please, about the certificate, don't worry. No need to send me an email or remind me. The certificate, once the government of Kuwait, which is the Shabakat Akhbar Shabab, this network finish doing the certificate, they will send it to you in 9 or 10 days. It will take time because yesterday and the day before yesterday I have also a big event, so many certificates it's pending in these 3 days, so it will take time, but you will receive the certificate. Thank you again, and see you next time. And again, if you want to see what will go next and what we will just join this group in this page in Facebook, and you will see what the next webinar. Thank you. This is my all accounts. If you want to follow me in LinkedIn, Facebook, ResearchGate, Twitter, or Instagram.